Welcome in. I'm Rhonda Holt, the Loan Maven with Thrive Mortgage, and happy Saturday to you. I'm in the studio with Mary White. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Rhonda. How are you?
I am doing good. We were just talking about spring, and it's cold, and it's not like spring, but that's okay. I know spring is coming, and then we're going to be complaining about how hot it is.
That is true. That is true. What is it they say about around here? If you don't like the weather, just give it a couple of minutes, and it's going to change. So.
Right. I know. You never know what to wear because you either get hot or cold or whatever, But spring is a great time to talk about mortgages. Of course, on our radio show, we talk about mortgages. That's all we do. And we're going to be getting into our series of talking about home improvement and things you can do for your home. And we're going to be having special guests in the studio that are going to be talking about different things that you can do to improve your home in all aspects of the home. And there's so many things that people are doing nowadays. I have people calling that want to upgrade bathrooms or upgrade, kitchens, of course. That's always still a familiar one. I know when we were looking at remodeling our kitchen, I think literally we waited maybe 12 years after being in it before we did it. And I'm like, why did we wait so long? And maybe it was money, budget or something. I don't know. But, I had the green Formica countertops. And, I think I cried in joy when they were gone, but I don't know. But yeah, and I think that was a popular thing.
Oh yeah, I think it several decades ago.
Yeah.
And if you had kept them, then if you just waited long enough, they would have come back in style.
Right, I'd been like popular or something, But now, we did go to the marble and everybody's on the quartz or wherever everyone got, that everybody wants to go to. And the white cabinets. But as soon as we painted them white, what happened? They said the color's now like gray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen them two-tone and different things.
Yeah.
I still like the white cabinets though.
Oh, I do too.
Because it brightens it up.
That very clean look.
Yeah.
I think you can't go wrong with a nice white. Of
Right.
course, you have to be scrubbing them a lot to make sure they don't get dirty.
And they get nicked.
Yeah. And it adds to the value of your home.
Oh yeah, it definitely adds to the value. So we're going to talk about home improvement and things you can do to get money out to do home improvement. I know there's various things you can do, like we talked about bathrooms, kitchens. You can also look at creating, more space, rearranging some things. Some people, want to buy new appliances, or they may want to buy new furniture. Finish a basement. That's really popular. I know we waited several years to finish our basement, but that seems to be a good thing, and it does improve and help the value of your home. So if you're looking to do that, it creates good living space for you as well. But there are different things that you can do. The ranges of prices, of course, do vary depending on what you get done. And the guests that we're going to have on our show for the next few weeks, these are licensed people that are good at what they do. They have done it for a long while. And my advice to you, if you're getting any work done, any repairs done, always choose a licensed professional or someone that's been doing it a long time that has some good reviews that you can trust. Because I've done both. I've had someone put in floors for us that did an awesome job. I've had some people do some other things that maybe I might only got one review from someone, or someone gave me the name and they weren't so great. So, and we always say, cheap is not always better. Remember that. So you get what you pay for, so to say. I know everybody we all want to keep it within a budget, and you want to get it at a good price, but you also want a good job because you're going to probably only do it once, so you really need to have a good licensed professional, someone that's been doing it for a while.
What is it they say, Rhonda? You can have it, you want stuff done cheap,
That's right.
fast, and good, a good
Uh-huh.
job, and you can choose two.
Right.
Maybe even just choose one.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to choose among those, if you want it.
You can't have all of them.
Exactly. You can't have all of them.
Right.
Cheap, fast, and good. You kind of have to pick and choose.
But think about it. I mean, you've already thought about this too. I mean, how many times have you really done something cheap or got something cheap and it just doesn't work out?
Right,
It
right.
just,
Yep.
I don't know.
If it's cheap, it's probably not going to be good.
Yeah. So you've got to remember that, and you because I know listeners out there can be thinking about things that they've done cheap and it didn't turn out so hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was not what they expected. So yeah, you can't have all three, and that's the thing. But there are various things that you can do as a homeowner. If you own a home now, you can tap into the equity that you have in your current home and do what's called a cash out refinance. That's one option that you can use. And, with the cash out refinances, typically most loan programs, and we'll talk about one other, but most loan programs go up to, you can get up to 80%, or you can use 20%, let's say, of the equity in your home. And how you determine that value is with a new appraisal. And that appraised value will determine how much you can get out. Now, if you just bought a home, literally, 2 months ago, and you put no money down, and even the fact that you bought it 2 months ago, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you've had the home for at least a year, and you have paid on the mortgage faithfully, maybe you've put some extra payments on the mortgage and paid it down, and you gain more equity. And in some cases, values of homes have gone up, increased values, so you may have gained some equity there. So you can certainly give me a call. We can kind of toss around some numbers and kind of look at that. But cash out refinance is certainly one way that you can get money out. Now, you can't, if you haven't owned the home, according to Fannie Mae now, if you haven't owned the home for at least, or had the property for at least 12 months, you really can't refinance or do the cash out refinance. There's exceptions to that though. Let's say you got the home from an inheritance. That certainly would allow you to take money out, cash out, and do what you want to fix up the home. Say it was a family home or whatever, you can do that right away. Mm-hmm. So there are other things that you can do to, it's different criteria and so forth, but generally and of course, at least one of the borrowers or one of the owners has to be on the loan. I have situations where you are going through a divorce. And unfortunately, one of the spouse, the husband or wife or partner or whatever, is buying out the other. And if that's the case, you can go ahead and do the cash out refinance to pay off that person. There's not, waiting period for that. But yes, you can do the cash out. And, what some people ask is, well, what does that mean? Well, on the cash out refinance, you're going to be paying off your existing mortgage and taking cash out to do whatever you'd like. You can pay off debt. You can pay off a second mortgage, like an equity line or loan that you might have out there. Because in the debt, especially if you got a bunch of credit card debt, do a debt consolidation and pay that off. Of course, we're talking about home improvement today, but that's a whole nother field. If you want to take out the cash out to do debt consolidation, that's a great thing to get you in better shape financially. You, again, pay off the first loan, then you have the cash to do the home improvement or do what you would like with it, up to a certain value, percentage value of the property. Now, you may say, well, I have a 2% COVID rate, which, we've talked about the COVID rates. You're not going to get one of those anymore unless we go through another pandemic.
Heaven forbid.
No. So the thing about it is, I would say that you may not want to touch that. You may not want to go that avenue because we're going to pay off your first and give you cash out to do something with. If you have, say, a 4 or 5% interest rate, it may be advantageous to you, or higher, maybe advantageous to you to do that, to take the cash out, to do the home improvement. We'd have to weigh the cost of what it would cost you to get it elsewhere and that sort of thing. We'd have to look at a number of factors on. And I almost always recommend it if you're over your head in debt and have the equity in your home. A debt consolidation is probably the right thing, especially if you're really, really struggling, no matter what your interest rate is. So if we're able to do that, certainly. If you do want to do the home improvement and you have that wonderful interest rate that you really don't want to touch, then I would suggest us looking at the home equity or home equity line route or home equity loan route. And with the home equity line or loan, we do not touch the first mortgage. Your first mortgage stays intact as it is, and you continue to pay on that at the current interest rate. The home equity loan itself is a fixed loan for a fixed period of time at a fixed interest rate. It's not going to be like the wonderful mortgage rates that we have right now. It's going to be usually tied to an adjustable variable such as the prime rate. So it's usually going to be much, much higher. But you have a fixed payment that you make every month. You use it, you get the loan for X amount of dollars up to the equity in your home, and you pay on it every month at a fixed payment. The home equity line is a line of credit that is just there waiting for you to use at your discretion, and you can use it as you do your home improvement or repairs or whatever you want to do, need to do. So there are various avenues. One thing I'll talk about is the best program that we have to offer is the cash out VA loan. The VA loan, as you know, for active duty service members, surviving spouses who qualify, or veterans in general who we can get a certificate of eligibility from, you can go up to 100% of your equity in your home. So that's crazy, 100% of the equity. So if you think your value is $200,000, if we determine that you only owe $100,000, then you have $100,000 to do some home improvement with, or whatever you want to use it. You don't have to do home improvement, you can do debt consolidation, whatever. But veterans have a true advantage. And I am here in the studio today with a special guest, Dane Beakler. Hi, Dane.
Hey, Rhonda.
So I'm so glad, and I'm telling him don't be nervous. He's not normally a nervous person, and everybody freaks out when they come to the radio station, but it's understandable because I was the same way, let me tell you. I think the more you do it, the more you get comfortable. I want to introduce Dane because Dane is with Hometown Roofing, and we've been talking this morning, starting our series this month, about home improvement and things you can do to increase the value of your home, ways you can get cash out to do the home improvement. And Dane, tell them a little bit about what you do at Hometown Roofing, and you are the owner.
Yeah, so I'm one of the owners of Hometown Roofing. We're a local company. We both live here locally. So my job in the company is to help with the operations, but we like to keep the owners on site. So we're not going to just pass the job off when we do a job to like a project manager or somebody. We like to have a presence on site with every customer. So one of my jobs is to, when we sell a roof, to be out there while we're doing it, interact with the customers, make sure the crew has everything they need, and keep everybody moving.
That's wonderful. Now, how long has Hometown Roofing been in business?
So we're working on our third year now.
Wow, yeah. Wow. So I know you all do a great job and you get a lot of great reviews. So as far as roofing needs, so right now, what do you get calls for? What are people calling you for? Like repair? What are they calling you for on a roof?
Yeah, so a lot of times we see a lot of fluctuation in the calls when there's a rainstorm. We'll get a lot of calls about leaks and things like that. A lot of realtors are calling as well when they do home inspections and all that. And then we just get the customers that call just because they know that they need a roof and they want to make sure that they stay on top of the maintenance of their home. And so we take everything that we can, try and help everybody out we can.
Good. And I know you mentioned, because you and I have been talking, you mentioned that recently in our area, Rustburg experienced a hailstorm. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there was a hailstorm down in the Rustburg area a couple weeks ago. we don't go out and chase storms. I don't really love doing that. You know, people are dealing with enough when something like that comes through. They don't want somebody knocking on the door. But we are getting a lot of calls from those customers, from insurance agents and places like that, you know, we can come out, we can help with the insurance process, all the paperwork and all that's involved, get the roof done, and then submit everything that needs to be submitted to the insurance company to make sure that the homeowner's paid out.
That's interesting. Yeah, and I'm glad that I live in Rustburg, but I don't live in Rustburg proper. So I don't live in the town, but I think that was mainly in the town. But, you know, we've had that storm, what was it? We had the derecho, and of course, we had some hailstorm years ago and had to have our roof replaced. And it even put like nicks into our car, and it ruined our screens. I mean, it was bad. So I think everybody on our street ended up getting a new roof.
Yeah,
So-
we see that a lot. It hits different neighborhoods and all that. But yeah, we always do a free inspection. So if you kind of question it or want to know if it's there or not, we can come out and take a look for you.
Yeah. So when you come out and take a look, is there a fee for you to just look at it, or what is the deal with that?
Yeah, we do all free estimates and inspections. We're happy to come out, take a look. You know, most people aren't going to want to climb up on the roof, so we're happy to do it for you. And we don't charge for that.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That's peace of mind, just knowing, you know, get it checked out. So what are you seeing as far as home improvement is concerned? Are you seeing different types of roof? And I'm, of course, not in roofing, so I know I've talked with you before, but what types of roofs are you seeing out there? What styles are you seeing?
Yeah, so we do all types of roofing. We do the old slate roofs downtown. We do metal roofs, rubber roofs for a commercial roofing, and then for residential, most of it is shingles and metal. But a lot of people, the latest trend that we're seeing is a lot of people are going with like a black shingle, black fascia, black gutters, black soffit.
Oh, wow.
And then they'll do like white siding. But yeah, that's been the latest trend. We've
Black
been doing
and
a lot
white.
of those. Yep.
I like that too. I see houses like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So what is a rubber roof? I mean,
Like a flat roof on a lot of the commercial buildings.
oh, okay, and they're rubber.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So interesting.
Yeah.
So, and I guess when you're looking at the different roofing ideas and different types of roof, it varies in price, I assume.
Correct.
So like what would be the most economical type of roof that a customer can get?
You get the most bang for your buck probably with an architectural shingle. A lot of the shingles are kind of moving away from the old 3-tab shingles. The architectural shingles now are a 50-year product.
Mm-hmm.
Metal is another good option as well. Metal is a lifetime product, but the paint is guaranteed for 40 years. So there will be a little bit of maintenance at some point, but that's quite a ways down the road.
Yeah, 40 years. That's a long time. So and how about, I guess they don't do tin roofs anymore, or what? I don't know.
Well, that would be
Do
the
they?
metal.
That would be the metal kind of thing?
But they've come a long ways with the metal. You know, you used to have to hand seam it, so you would lay the panels and you would have to fold them over by hand.
Uh-huh.
But they have a new product now that is a snap lock roof. So it looks like the old standing seam, but it actually snaps on top of each other, makes the labor costs go way down.
Oh, wow. We're here in the studio talking with Dane Beakler. He's with Hometown Roofing, and we're talking about how to get cash out, how to do home improvement, using the equity in your current home and doing some of these improvements. So if you feel like your roof is leaking, if you're getting leaks coming in, if you see so what would be some other indicators that maybe it's not and now time for a new roof? What would be some other things?
Yeah, some other things you can look for if you walk outside on a sunny day and you look up on the roof and you see like a shine on the roof. A lot of times that's the fiberglass coming through, that the granulars have now come off the shingles and the fiberglass is exposed. So that's getting towards the end of its life.
Oh, wow. So, and how long typically does that type of shingle last?
So if it's a new construction house, a lot of times it's just a contractor grade shingle in there, and they're rated at 30 years, but you might get about 20 out of it.
Uh-huh.
And the old 3-tab shingles are rated at 25 years, and you're going to get about 20 out of those as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and also, so are you, I guess, I think I was looking at some other roof ideas. I've seen like the terracotta. What is that exactly? Is that like slate, a type of slate, or what is that?
It's a tile roof, but it's actually clay.
Clay.
Yeah, and there's few of those around. It is a neat product. We actually just did one down in Bedford, and it turned out really cool. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take you? Of course, I know it's going to probably vary by roof, I guess, how big the roof is, and you price your job out. So how long would it take you to do? And I don't know what would be an average size roof you would do.
An average size roof is probably 20, 25 squares, and we're usually able to do one of those in about a day, as long as it's not very cut up. And I always tell people that I'm convinced that a roofer has never designed a house. There's all these new houses have all the different pitches, and they're all cut up, and they're real steep. So those take a little bit longer, but typically we're in and out in about a day or two.
Wow. I'll tell you a funny story, and I'm telling it myself because when we built my first house that I built, I think we got the shingles from Lowe's or somewhere like that, and they came and delivered it, and the like roofing guys were not there, and I had them, and you're gonna laugh, I had them put the shingles like on the ground. So, and I was told you're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to lay them on the roof, the pallets on the roof itself.
Correct. Yeah, that does help out a lot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, they come in, they say, oh, yeah. You said, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And I didn't know. I was like, just tell her to put it on the ground. Just put it on the ground.
So what happens when you put it on the ground?
So we actually have, it's called an elevator lift. So we can actually put it on a platform, and it actually goes up a ladder.
Okay.
So we can make that happen, but it is much easier
They
if
fussed.
we can. Yeah, I'm sure they did.
They fussed.
If we can just have it put on the roof, it is a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. So, and if you're looking, I'm sure we talked about how the various prices can, be more expensive. So what are you looking at is typically what kind of price ranges are you looking at as far as roofing?
Your typical roof is probably going to be about $7,500, just depending on how cut up it is and how steep it is. A lot of these homes now, they're building them bigger, and so those roofs are going to be a little bit more expensive. But the standard roof, you're looking about $7,500.
Wow. So that's not bad. You think about it. And, if I know that if you are buying a home, the appraiser is going to go out and also make on the appraisal report a note of what's the rest of the life or the life continuance of a roof. They're going to say, okay, this roof is looks like it's good for another 5 years or another 10 years. And I do know that if you get under 2 or under, you can't get a loan on it. You're going to have to, that seller's going to have to get that roof replaced. So, and they'll make a note in it, even if it's 2 to 5, they're going to put it on there and people are going to see that, but we do not lend under 2 for sure.
Yeah.
No one lender will do that. So if you're a seller out there and you've got a roof problem, it's great to call somebody like Dane. So Dane, if somebody wanted to get their free estimate and look at maybe getting a repair, getting a new roof, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can call into us. Our phone number is 434-207-2442, or they can look us up online at hometownroofingva.com.
And you're also, I see you on social media as well, and you're on Facebook as well.
Yep,
So
you can find us on there as well.
Yeah, so you can find Hometown Roofing out there, Dane Beakler, and give them that phone number again.
It's 434-207-2442.
So if you are thinking about that your roof needs repair or that you need a new roof, and maybe you're going to sell your home and look at bringing up its value, because that would certainly add to the value and getting more for your money on having a new roof. Or if you are just wanting to do some home improvement, like we talked about, getting cash out or a home equity loan or line, and within those improvements, you want a new roof. That seems a very reasonable choice to add value to your current home.
Correct.
So today we have not an open house, but we have a new listing that's come up, and this listing is on 219 Duncraig Drive in Lynchburg, 02. It is a Windhurst home without the Windhurst HOA fees, and this is listed at 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths for $420,000 right over here in Windhurst near WL&I. Great home. It is listed by Jeremy Phillips, and he can be reached at 434-221-8196. Again, Jeremy Phillips. So check out this listing. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate Dane Beakler being on the show. And again, if you are considering doing home improvement, we're going to be continuing to talk about this in the month of May on how you can get cash out to do the home improvements. I can be reached to get pre-approved for home buying or cash out refinance at 434-221-6361, or you can visit my website at theloanmaven.com, and you can apply right there online. Also, be sure to tune into, if you miss a podcast, tune into YouTube and subscribe and like our videos. We would greatly appreciate that. We're at the Loan Maven channel. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope you have a great week, and see you next Saturday.